So last time we started a discussion about the stock transport order, in which we discussed about the manual stock transfer, right? How the manual stock transfer will work, how the storage location to store location stock transfers we do with the help of Migo transaction, how we are doing the plan to plan stock transfer, what is meant by one step stock transfer, what is meant by two step stock transfers, right? And after that we have this started discussion about the stock transport order, right, in which we discussed what is the stock transfer process or what is the plus SD stock transfer process. The stock transfer process we are calling it as a stock transport without shipping, while on other hand plus SD stock transfer we are calling it as a stock transport with shipping, right? So in stock transport without shipping, normally we are creating a purchase orders, right, with the document type UB. After that one, we are doing the goods issue. That means the supplying plant or supplying locations do the goods issue. The moment type will be 351, right? And once the material reach to the receiving locations, the receiving locations will do the final goods receipt. That is goods receipt, right? And then if there is any delivery charges or something, that will be posted as an invoice. Now, when we say stock transport with shipping, it will be divided into two parts. One is intra-company stock transfer, one is inter-company stock transfer. So stock transfer with shipping can be categorized as an intra-company stock transfer and inter-company stock transfer. Okay. At one place, either we can activate stock transfer or we can activate plus SD stock transfer. Initially, stock transfer, if there is no configuration setup, stock transfer process will be activated. If we made the configurations, then this process will be activated and this process will by default get deactivated. Okay, I'll talk about that too. Now, intra-company stock transfer and inter-company stock transfer. What is meant by intra-company stock transfer? Intra-company stock transfer means we want to transfer a stock from one plant to another plant which belongs to same company code. You have one legal entity under which you want to transfer stock from this plant to another plant, right? For example, we have a company called EG00, East Germany, in which we are actually planning to transfer the stock from Berlin plant to Halle plant. Both belongs to one company code, EG00. So EBR to EHL. These are the two plants. Within these two plants, if there is any stock transfer, then we are calling it as an intra-company stock transfer. Another is intercompany stock transfer. What is meant by intercompany stock transfer? Transfer of stocks between two plants in which one plant belong to another company code, other plants belong to another company code. Got it? Now, the process for intra-company and intercompany is same. Okay, the process is same. See, here also we are creating a purchase order, but here we are using document of UB. Okay, once we create a purchase order, we means supplying plant create a purchase order. The supplying plant will create a replenishment delivery, which we called it as a advanced shipping notification, outbound delivery, right? A replenishment delivery will be created. Against that outbound delivery or replenishment delivery, supplying locations will issue the goods, right? And then the receiving locations will receive the goods. Same process like this one, only the extra thing is replenishment delivery. That is a shipping activity. That's the reason we are calling it as a stock transport with shipping, because we are creating a shipping notification here. We mean supplying locations, supplying plant will create a shipping notification here, right? So this is a intra-company stock transfer process. On the other hand, intercompany stock transfer, same process, only the document type we are using as a NB. Okay, supplying plant will create a purchase order with document type NB. Against that purchase order, against that document types, we are creating a replenishment delivery. That is a shipping notifications we are creating, right? We mean supplying locations will create the replenishment delivery, outbound delivery. Then we do the goods issue against the replenishment delivery. Then receiving locations, receiving plant will do the goods receipt. as this is a stock transfer between two company codes, two different legal entities, we are creating here a billing document from sales point of view, right? Because one location has sold his goods to another legal entity. So a billing document will be created. So this billing process is an extra in intercompany stock transfer, right? So this is a process flow for intracompany stock transfer and intercompany stock transfer. Anyone have any questions, queries till this point? Is it clear to all?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now let us see how we need to configure and define this complete process, intracompany and intercompany stock transfer in SAP. So first of all, we have some prerequisites. We'll note down the prerequisite. Okay, and then we have something called configuration. So we'll do the configuration as well. Configuration plus this one we will do it. Yep. The first prerequisite is material master. What is this one? Material master needs to be extended to supplying plant as well as receiving plant. Material master needs to be extended for supplying plant as well as receiving plant. Correct? Then again, material master sales view. Sales general view. Loading group needs to be maintained for supplying plant. Okay. Third, then the store will be assigned. Customer master needs to be extended for supplying sales area. Yeah. So these are the prerequisites we need to do. Now let us see, we'll discuss about that prerequisites and all. Let us see the configuration. Okay. The first configurations, where we need to go. Let's see. First, let me create a material masters. I will show you. Let me log in. Okay. So I'll create a material master. So fresh new material, I'll create it with transaction code MM01. What is the requirement? I'll tell you. I have two plants, EBER and EHL, right? I want to transfer some stocks from EBR to EHL. EBR is the supplying, EHL is the receiving. Okay? So let's see how this will work. So plant will be EBR, and I need to, for supplying locations, if there is any sales organizations, I need to extend it for the sales organization as well. So that is also prerequisite. So prerequisite material masters needs to extend it for supplying plant as well as receiving plant. Second point, also needs to be extended for supplying plant sales area, because he is going to supply. So just press OK. This is test material. I'll give quickly. I'll just create this purchase. Sorry, material master. See here now. Here in sales general plant, okay, we have some availability check option. We have the transportation group, okay, and the most important field here is the loading group. See, you saw this field, loading group. This is the important one. This field help to determine the shipping point. This field is one of the criteria to determine the shipping point. Okay, where this configuration or how system will determine the shipping point, that we will discuss. So we need to maintain the loading group, proper loading group for each material. So currently I am maintaining loading group 0001. Rest of the data I will maintain. Okay, so my material master got created. So this is the material number which we are going to use. Let me just copy this number. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Now we created this material for supplying plant, because receiving plant also going to use this material, right? He is going to receive the materials. We need to extend this material for receiving location. How we can extend it? Need to go to the MM01 transaction code. We need to give the material number, press enter. So same material numbers we are extending for another plant. So I'll go here. My receiving location is EHAL, right? So rest of the information I'm just filling, loading group and all. So my material is extended to receiving location as well, right? Now let us try to create a purchase order. We'll see. We'll get some errors and we will sort it those errors one by one. So I'll go to the ME21N. Okay. And here I will choose an options UB, that is a stock transport order. Now see here. If I select option UB, stock transfer order, system will ask me supplying plant, right? If I choose an options NB, system will ask me vendor number. You got the difference between NB and UB? So if I choose UB, system by default asking me the plant information, not the vendor information. So I need to provide who will be the supplying plant. So supplying plant is EBR, right? What is the material number? So my material number is this one, right? Who is the receiving locations? Who is going to create this purchase order? EHAL. Right? Now I'll give the purchasing organizations EGPO, purchasing group PG1. This purchasing information is actually our receiving locations information. Receiving location is going to purchase it. So this receiving locations information, we need to add it here. Now how much quantity I want to use for a stock transfer, which means how much quantity a supplying plant EBR is going to supply to plant EHAL. Let me add 100 quantity. Okay. So if you see, there is no errors. There is no errors. Correct? Does it mean that we have created intra-company purchase order? No. If you see, this is not intra-company purchase order. This purchase order treat as a stock transport order, stock transfer without shipping. If you see, what is the difference between stock transfer and intra-company stock transfer? The replenishment delivery tab. The replenishment delivery is the extra. Rest of the things are same, right? Correct. Now, what I'm saying now, the purchase order which we created is not an intra-company stock transfer. It is a stock transfer without shipping. This is the process we are following. Why? How I know that this is intra-company purchase order or it is a stock transfer purchase order? If it is intra-company stock transfer order, you will find one more option here in tab. You will find one more tab here, which is called as a shipping. Okay, this tab will come only if we maintain the proper configuration and proper master data. Okay, if you maintain the proper configuration, proper master data, then this will we will find one more option, shipping here. Okay, and as soon as we maintain the configuration and prerequisites or maintain the configuration and master data, then this process will get deactivated. Got it? So now if I go here, I can see there is no shipping tab, which means some of the configuration is still missing or some of the master data is missing. Let us check the configuration one by one. Till now, is it clear what we are doing?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see the configuration. So I'll go to the SPRO, SAP reference IMG. You go to the material management, purchasing, We'll go to the purchase order. And there is an option called setup stock transport order. You can see this one, setup stock transport order. We'll use this option. Okay. And here is a complete configuration for stock transport order. The first, define shipping data for plants. So I'll just note it here. First configuration, SPRO, SAP reference IMG, material management, purchase order, purchasing, purchase order, setup, stock transport order. Okay. Now this is the configuration part, in which first define shipping data for plant. What we need to do here? Here, for supplying plant, okay, for supplying plant, we need to mention what is the sales area. So this is my supplying plant, right? You can see I need to maintain my sales area for this supplying plant. My sales area is EGSO, distribution channel 01, and division. So I need to maintain the sales area for supplying plant. So maintain sales area for supplying plant. Okay. So I maintained it. Let me save it. Okay. Someone is in lobby. Okay. Now, so you maintain the sales area in a supplying plant. Let me go back. Now, for receiving locations, who is the receiving locations? EHAL. So EHAL locations, I need to maintain the customer master, right? Our system knows that who is the customer based on this configuration. When we provide EHAL here as a receiving location in purchase order, that means a customer is actually this plant. Now, for this plant, we need to create one customer master which represent the receiving location. That means plant EHAL. And that customer masters, we need to assign it here. Got it? So before assigning the customer master needs to be maintained or created. So let us create a customer master. How we can create a customer master? With the help of transaction XD01. So we'll go to the T code XD01. Here we'll choose our proper account group. Okay. Company code will be EG00 and sales area EGSO, that is supplying plant sales area. So EGSO 0101, right? So let me maintain customer master as a prerequisite. The fourth prerequisite is okay, customer already maintained. Customer master needs to be extended for supplying sales area. Okay, so here we'll go and maintain This is plant EHL. Normally, we are maintaining the external number range for this type of requirement, where the plant name we are mentioning might be INC or intercompany IC-EHL, that is intercompany vendor EHL, intercompany customer EHL, like that one we are maintaining. Okay, so the number ranges we can define as per the requirements or as per our feasibility. Here currently I'm using internal number range. Okay. Once you maintain address, control data, payment data, and everything, you need to click on the company code data. Go to the company code data, and here you can provide your reconciliation accounts and all. Payment transactions, everything in every information like vendor master we maintain, right? Similarly, we can maintain it for the customer master as well. And once we maintain the company code related informations, we need to go to the sales area. In sales area, we need to mention what is the sales group and all. And then the most important thing is shipping. So in the shipping, there is one important field called shipping conditions. We have to maintain these shipping conditions. So let me maintain the delivery priority 02 or 01, whatever. And shipping conditions, I'm choosing it here 01. Okay. So this is very important. So let me note it down. Maintain shipping condition under sales area. Okay. So one important field is loading group in material master, right? So loading group is one of the criteria to determine the shipping point. Okay. The second criteria is the shipping condition. So shipping condition and loading group, both fields are important to determine the shipping point. Got it? So that's the reason we have to maintain these informations. If this information is missing or any of the master data is not properly set up, we will not see a shipping tab in a purchase order, which means we cannot carry out the intra-company stock transfer. Got it? So let us see now. Let me save it. So see here, my customer master 11 has been created. So customer is 11. Got it? Now, so customer master is created. That customer master 11, we need to assign it here in our configuration. So EHL is the receiving location. What is the customer number which represents EHL plans? Customer number 11 represents EHL plans, right? So what we did till now in shipping data configurations, maintained sales area for a supplying location, maintain customer master in maintain customer master in receiving plant. Okay, so I'll repeat it again. What we did, as this plant is receiving, we are mentioning what is the customer number which represents this plant. So we did that one, right? Then as EBR plant is the supplying plant, we mentioned as EBR plant is the supplying locations, we maintained the sales area of this plant EBR, right? Now If you see, you might have questions. EBR is the supplying plant. Then why customer number is showing here and why we kept it blank? See, EBR is a supplying plant. We only need to maintain the sales area of this plant. Sometimes EBR also receiving materials from another plant. In that case, this plant will be a receiving. If he is a receiving, then we need to maintain a customer number which represents EBR plant, right? Currently, he is only the supplying. So we have just maintained the supplying information. If EBR plant is a receiving plant for any cases, in that case, we need to mention the EBR plant's customer number. Same here in EHL. Currently, EHL plant is the receiving location. So we maintain the customer number here. If EHL plant might be supplying plant for other plants, in that case we need to mention the EHL plant sales area here. I kept it default, or I can keep it blank as well. That is also fine. Clear till now? Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So we have maintained the defined shipping data for plants. Create checking rules, define checking rules is different one. Okay, we will go directly to the is actually related to sales activities. Salesperson will provide these informations altogether together to us. Then we will go to the assign sales type and checking rules. I'll use the checking rules, means standard checking rules and all. So here we need to mention if my document type is UB, if my supplying plant is this one, okay, then what will be the delivery type and what will be the checking rule. So that information we need to mention. So let me go to the new. If my document type is UB, our purchase order document type is UB, right? Who is the supplying plant? EBR. Okay. So if my document type is UB, supplying plant EBR, then we need to mention what is my delivery type. Okay. Normally, if you are using document type UB, which means we want to do the intercompany stock transfer, in that case, we are using delivery type NL. That is a standard document type, delivery type. So NL is for replacement delivery and NLCC is for replacement delivery cross company, which means intercompany purchase order. If it is intracompany purchase order, we need to use replacement delivery type NL. If it is intercompany stock transfer, we need to use delivery type NLCC. Currently, it is intracompany and we are using document type UB for intracompany. We will use delivery type NL. Okay, so here in assign delivery type and checking rules, what we did, we have mentioned if my document type is UB, my supplying location is EBER, so we maintain the delivery type NL, the checking rule 01, and we have saved entries, right? So I'll just copy it. See here what we did based on document type equal to UB, supplying plant EBER, need to assign sorry, need to assign delivery type equal to NL. Correct? Is it clear? Okay. Okay. So we did this one activity as well. Now next, assign document type one step procedure under delivery tolerance. So this is the last steps we need to follow for intracompany stock transfer. What we need to mention it here. If this is my supplying plant, if this is my receiving plant, okay, if this is the document type, I'll just go to the new entries, I'll mention it. If my supplying plant is EBR, if my receiving plant is EHAL, okay, and if I'm using document type UB, okay, if I'm using document type UB, am I going to use one-step stock transfer or two-step stock transfer? What is mean by one-step stock transfer and two-step stock transfer? If I use one-step stock transfer, the supplying locations will issue the materials and receiving locations will receive the materials in one activity, right? If I'm using two-step stock transfer, in that case, the supplying locations will issue the material in first attempt or in first activity. Then the stock will show in stock in transit. Once the stock reach to the receiving location has to do the goods receipt, right? This is one step, two step. So in these combinations, are we going to use one step stock transfer or two step stock transfer? If I'm going to use one step stock transfer, I need to check this one. If I want to follow two step stock transfers, I need to deactivate this option. That's it. Okay. If you activate, it will follow one step stock transfer. If you deactivate, it will follow two step stock transfer. Got it? The next option is under delivery tolerances. Are we going to provide any tolerances for this case? Right? So just save it. So this is the another entry we need to maintain. Assign document type. Okay. Here, supplying plant, receiving plant, document type combination, mention one step and delivery tolerance. Okay. So this is also fine. Now we have maintained all these three configurations, right? One more configuration is there, but determine it is not under this path, purchasing part. So determine shipping point. So determine shipping point is the configurations we need to maintain, but this will not comes under material management. To make this configuration, we need to go to the logistic execution. Okay, we need to go to the shipping. Basic shipping functions. And here we have shipping point and goods receiving point determination. Got it? So I'll maintain this path here. SPRO. SAP reference IMG. Logistic execution. Shipping. Shipping and receiving point determination. Okay, shipping point and goods receiving point determination. Okay, Then here we have assign shipping points. Okay, I'll maintain assign shipping point. Here we need to mention if my shipping condition which is maintained in the customer master is 01, if my loading group is 0001, if my plant is EBR, then the what is my shipping point? So this entry is already there. Okay, we have maintained shipping condition 0 in our customer masters. We maintained loading group in our material masters, and our plant supplying plant is EBR. So we are mentioning systems. If this is the combination, our shipping point should be E0001. Shipping point is an organization unit maintained by the sales and distribution consultant. If you have different shipping points, you need to assign it correctly here with the combination, right? So this configuration needs to be maintained by default, as we have used the default setup, default entries. So this configuration is already available. Just note it down. Based on shipping condition plus loading group plus supplying plant, mention shipping point. Clear till now what we did? Is it clear to all? Right now,
Yes.
as we maintained our customer masters, material masters, as well as we maintain the configuration, let us try to, I'll keep this purchase order as it is. I'll not touch this one. I'll open one more window. I just want to show you what is the difference between these two purchase order. So I'll go to the ME21 and I'm going to use my document type UB. My supplying plant is EBER. My material is 30020. My receiving location is EHAL, right? My location purchasing organization is EGPO. The purchasing group is PG1. Okay, quantity 100 I'm going to issue. So it is doing availability check and all, right? So see here, there is one more tab came called shipping. Why this tab came? This, if you see the previous purchase order, there is no shipping tab, right? Now this purchase order contains one more tab, that is a shipping tab, which means now we are doing the stock transfer with shipping. Got it? And as this shipping tab came, this is called as a intra-company stock transfer, because we are doing the stock transfer between two plants which belong to same company. Got it till now? Clear?
Yes, sir.
How this shipping tab came? The shipping tab will come only if you maintain the proper master data and if you maintain the proper configuration. If any of your master data or configuration setup is not available, system will not give this shipping tab, right? We'll see what is there in shipping tab. Let me just click on the shipping tab. See, all this information came here from the configuration or from the master data. See, this sales area is coming from the configuration where we maintain. If my plant is EBR, the sales area is this one, right? Where we maintain this one, I'll show you here in define shipping data, so not here, material management. Purchasing, purchase order, no, not purchase order, yeah, set up stock transport order. And here we have maintained define shipping data for plants. For plant EBR, we mentioned my sales area is EGSO0 and 0. So system has fetched this information from this configuration, right? Customer number is 11. How system knows that how system identified this customer number? So system identified this customer number based on the configuration again. So here for the receiving plant, we mentioned customer number. So this is my customer number 11. So system found that information from the configuration. Clear? So this customer number was extended for my sales area. Okay, if it is not extended, again it will give an error message. Then transportation group is coming from the material masters. We have maintained transportation group in our material masters. We also maintained the loading group in our material masters. We maintained shipping conditions in this customer master, right? So delivery priority also we maintain in the customer master. Shipping condition and delivery priority we maintain in customer master, right? Now, delivery type we maintained in our configuration, right? We mentioned if my document type is UB, if my supplying plant is EBR, then the delivery type will be NL. So this delivery type is coming from configuration. The shipping point is coming from the configuration where we mentioned if my loading group is 0001 and if my shipping condition is this one and if my supplying plant is this one, then the shipping point will be this, correct? So all this information coming either from the material masters or either from the configuration. Clear this point?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Please save this purchase order. Okay, so my stock transfer purchase order is this one. Okay, so this is our stock transfer order. Now, let us do one thing. Let us go to an Excel file. So first we created a stock transfer order, okay? And here observe the shipping tab at line item level, right? Now we need to create a replenishment delivery, okay? So replenishment delivery is a shipping process. We need to create it. And for that one, for this purchase order creation, the T code will be ME21N. For replenishment delivery, we can use VL10B or VL10D. Any of this transaction code, we can use it. Okay. So I'll go to this transaction code VL10D or 10B. Okay. And in this one, we can give our shipping point. What is our shipping points? We can give the delivery creation date. Okay. It should be within a month. Okay. And we need to give our material purchase order number. So this is my purchase order number. All these informations we need to pass it here. Okay. And click on execute. You can see this option will come. I'll try to create a delivery. I know there will be an error message we are going to receive. Okay, what is those error messages and all that we will discuss. So let me try it. I'll just select this record and I'll click on background. So I can see some logs are generated. Let me select the record and I'll click on the this option, log for delivery creation. I can see there is a logs. Let me select this one. I'll click on document to check if there is any delivery document created. Yes, I can see some outbound delivery number is created here. Right. So this is my replenishment delivery which is created. Let me show you. Let me display the purchase order. I'll go back. I'll refresh this purchase order. I can see at the purchase order history also this replacement delivery number. So a replacement delivery number or the outbound delivery number can be updated in my purchase order history. So this is the replacement delivery which is created. Is it clear how the replacement delivery needs to be created? The replacement delivery will be created with transaction code VL10B. We need to provide our purchase order. The purchase order delivery date plays a vital role. If the delivery is between 30 days, then only it will allow you to create a replacement delivery. Okay. So our delivery date falls under the same criteria. So system allowed us to create a replacement delivery. Is it clear?
Yes.
Right. Now, as the replacement delivery is created, we need to do the goods issue. How we will do the goods issue? The goods issue will do it with VL02N.
Moving by.
Yes.
For creating replenishment delivery, the material should be in stock, right?
To issue the goods, material should be in stock.
For creating
delivery, so replacement delivery not required. It's just a shipping notification. But if you want to issue the goods against a replacement delivery, the stock should be there.
Okay.
Currently, we don't have the stock, right? So still system allowed us to create a replacement delivery. It's a new fresh material, right?
Okay.
Now, let us see if I go here and if I try to do the goods issue, let us see how we can do it. So this is a complete replenishment delivery I'm going to show you. So see, this is the replenishment delivery, which we are calling it as outbound delivery, right? So against this outbound delivery, we are going to issue the materials. How we are going to issue the materials? Select this record, or you can directly go from here, change mode, or else there is a transaction code VL02N. Go here, enter, press enter, and here we need to mention which storage locations we are going to issue. Storage location 1000. Okay, storage location. Okay, this material is not extended for that particular storage location, so we need to extend the material. How we are going to extend the materials? I'll just copy these materials. There is a transaction code, and we can extend the materials through MM01, or there is a transaction code MMSC. We can use that transaction also. We can give the material number. We can give our plant. What is our plant? 1000, for example. I will use 3000. Sorry, plant is EBR. Okay, and I want to extend this material for storage location 1000, storage location 2000, storage location 3000. So I can extend this material for this plant for multiple storage location in one attempt. Or else I need to go to the MM01 and I need to extend this material for sales storage locations one by one, right? So there are different ways to extend the storage locations. I'm doing it collectively. So I did it here in MMSC. Now let me try to do the VL02N, VL02N. So this is the replacement delivery. I'll go here. My storage location, for example, 3000. The delivery quantity will be 100. Okay. So what it is showing? It is showing only 0 quantity of material diseases are available. Right? So there is no stocks. System is asking that there is no stocks. So first you need to get the stocks into the supplying location. See, the supplying plant can issue the material only if he has having the stock, right? Correct? So there should be stocks available for supplying locations. So let me add these stocks. So in business scenarios, how the stock will get added into the supplying location? Either supplying location has to produce that material, or he need to purchase it from the external vendor, correct? So currently I'm just doing the initial stock upload. I'll go to the transaction code Migo. As this is test case, so I'm just doing initial stock upload for this material. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So other I'm doing for 500 quantity for plant EBR storage location 3000.
What is this 561 movement type?
560 is for initial stock upload. So normally what happens when we when we move from non-SAP system to SAP system, right? We need to upload all the stock information from our previous system. So we can
Okay.
upload that stock information with the help of transaction 561. It does not require any purchase order, nothing. Directly we can upload the stock in the system.
We can use 701 also, right?
701 is actually physical inventory movement type. It's not the initial stock upload.
Okay.
701 is actually in physical inventory, which means actually you have some stock physical available. Okay, system is showing 50 quantities, physically having only 20 quantities. To correct that discrepancy, you are doing the 701 movement.
In inventory adjustments.
Yes, inventory adjustment. Okay, my material document is posted. Let me check the stock now. I'll go to the MMB. See, I have 500 quantity. Now let me try to do the stock transfer. So I'll go to the VL02N 8007. My storage location will be 3000 and the delivery quantity will be 100. Just everything is fine. Let's see if there is any error message. Let me try to do the goods issue. Delivery has not yet been put away or picked. So I need to go to the picking tab and I need to mention I have picked 100 quantity. Okay, if it is warehouse management, if the storage location is warehouse managed, then we need to create a transfer request and transfer order to pick the material. I'll explain these informations when we see the MMWM integration. Okay, for the time being, I'll just go here and I'll just click on post goods issue. See, my goods issue has been done. Let me just refresh my purchase order. You can see the goods issue has been done for 100 quantity. You can see the stock as well. If I go back, you can see 400 quantities now, 100 quantity removed. Okay, but nothing has added into EHL plan. Why? Because this is a two-step stock transfer, right? We have mentioned two-step stock transfer in the configuration for this combination. So system has supplying location has issued the materials. Now the stock is showing as a stock in transit. If I scroll to the right side, here it is showing stock in transit, right? So now there is a T code as well. No? We can use that T code. I'll go to the MB5T. Okay, so this is a stock in transit report. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is a stock in transit report
Yes.
where we can mention for this material, I want to see the complete stock in transit information. If I click execute, so system will tell, okay, there is 100 quantities in stock in transit, which is against this purchase order. Okay, so you can get all the information of stock in transit in this report. Correct? So even in MMB 1 by 1 also you can check it. Fine. Now, what happens? Goods issue has been done. Okay, and if you see here, the moment type is showing 641. It is just two-step stock transfer. So VL0 to N. So moment type. If it is two step, the moment type will be 641. If it is one step, the moment type will be 647. Just remember these moment types, and during interview they may ask. Okay. If it is two steps, the moment type will be 641. If it is one step, moment type will be 647. Right? Now what happens? The final step is, as this material is in stock in transit, once this material reach to the receiving location, the receiving location has to do the goods receipt. So I'll go to the MIGO transaction code. That means the receiving location will go to the MIGO transaction code. Goods receipt, purchase order, and we'll give the purchase order number here. Press enter. So all these informations will come here, and we will mention, okay, I want to receive it under highway plant storage location 3000. Yes, okay. Click on check. Okay, you can do the goods receipts against purchase order, or there is option in MIGO. You can do the goods receipts against the replenishment delivery, that is outbound delivery. If you have the outbound delivery, you can use the outbound delivery. If you have the purchase order, you can do it against a purchase order as well. Up to you. So if I use outbound delivery, same information, so you will get it. So different options are here to do the goods receipt. So you can see delivery note number also gets updated here, and you can save it. So my material document posted. So now see, let me just refresh my purchase order. See, for this purchase order, stock transfer order, what happened? We have created a purchase order mentioning which is the who is the supplying location, who is the receiving location. We created the replenishment delivery, we did the goods issue, and finally the receiving location received the materials. So this complete process we followed with shipping activities, right? That's the reason it is called as a stock transfer with shipping. And as this is between two plants which belong to same company code, it is called as intra-company purchase order. Got it? Previously we did the same activity but without shipping activities. 351 moment type we have used, right? But now, as we have maintained the proper master data and proper configuration, we can completely follow this process with shipping activities. And most of the clients are using with shipping functionality only, intra-company and intra-company purchase orders. Got it? Am I clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Any questions, queries? No? Good. Let me stop the recordings.